السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم من جديد أعزائي الطلبة. We reached to chapter 3, which is entitled Time and Tense. Just to remind you that this lecture is prepared by Assist Lecturer Ahmed Fakhr Majid, who is from University of Basra, College of Arts, Department of Translation. As usual, we will start with the contents of chapter 3. We will start with the introduction, after that to the tense in English and the present tense. This video is going to be limited to section 3.3 for today, but there will be other videos that contain the other sections, which are the past tense in Arabic, the present tense, which is going to be called the imperfect tense, the past tense, or which is going to be called the perfect tense, absolute and relative. This is the contents of chapter 3. We will follow it step by step. Now we will start with the section 3.1 introduction. Now we will identify both time and tense. What is the difference between time and tense? So definitely the definition is a universal extra-linguistic for the time, of course. Time is a universal extra-linguistic concept, usually divided into past, present, and future, while on the other hand, tense is a grammatical device used by a language to refer to time by means of contrast and verb forms. So just to make this clear, tense in English is either present or past. Tense in English. There are two tenses in English, as we mentioned before, past and the present. The present tenses in English are used to talk about the present, for example, or to talk about the future, and to talk about the past when we are telling a story in spoken English, or when we are summarizing a book, film, play, etc. Tense is connected with the verb form. In English, the form go or goes expresses tense present. The form went expresses tense past. In Arabic, the form يذهب expresses tense imperfect, which is the present, and the form ذهب expresses tense perfect. Another slide مجرد توضيح لما هو الزمن. tense is connected with the verb form، يعني إنه الزمن مرتبط بصيغة الفعل. فعندنا عندما يكون صيغة الفعل باللغة الإنجليزية go فهو أو goes فهو يشير إلى زمن المضارع، وإن كانت صيغة هذا الفعل هي went فإنها تشير إلى زمن الماضي. والشيء نفسه في اللغة العربية، لدينا صيغة يذهب تشير إلى المضارع، وذهب يشير إلى الماضي. Now there are four present tense or present present tense forms in English. We have tense and form, as you can see. Present simple, I work. Present continuous, I'm working. Present perfect, I have worked. Present perfect continuous, I have been working. You can see that I, or the grammar call it present tense forms. Okay, so they are not tenses, they are forms for the present tense بالعربي. يعني عندنا 4 صيغ لزمن المضارع باللغة الإنجليزية، وليس 4 أزمنة مضارعة. هناك يوجد فرق بين زمن المضارع، صيغة الزمن المضارع، وأربع صيغ وأربع أزمنة مضارع. لا يوجد شيء اسمه 4 أزمنة مضارع، ولكن توجد 4 صيغ لزمن المضارع. لذلك في العمل سيكون لدينا الزمن وصيغة الزمن. We'll have tense and the form of that tense. وبإمكانكم المشاهدة أنه 4 صيغ لزمن المضارع باللغة الإنجليزية اللي هي present simple, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. والأمثلة أمامكم. In this chapter we are going to discuss the present simple, since the other types are called aspects, which are going to be discussed in chapter 4 inshallah. So we use these forms to talk about the present. For example, he works at McDonald's. He has worked there for 3 months now. He is working at McDonald's. Okay? And he has been working there for 3 months now. These are the uses of the present tense to talk about the present time. London is the capital of Britain. And so also to talk about future. The next train leaves this evening at 700 hours. I'll phone you when I get home. He is meeting Peter in town this afternoon. I'll come home as soon as I have finished work. These are the uses of the present to talk about the future. The last example, you will be tired out after you have been working all night. And use the present tenses to talk about the past also when we are telling a story. Well, for example, it is a lovely day and I'm just walking down the street when I see this funny guy walking towards me. Obviously, he's been drinking because he's moving from side to side. You can see that this story has happened in the past, but we are using the present tense to talk about the past. But of course, in the case if we are telling a story, or when we are summarizing something we have read, heard, or seen. For example, I love Ian Ranking's novels. He writes about this detective called Rebus. Rebus lives in Edinburgh and he is a brilliant detective, but he is always getting into trouble. In one book, he gets suspended and they tell him to stop working on this case, but he takes no notice. You can see that, for example, one has read the novel or book or read something and you want to summarize it, so we can use the present tense to summarize something we have read. The present tense is the base form of the verb in English. صيغة المضارع هي الصيغة الرئيسية أو الأساسية للأفعال في اللغة الإنجليزية. I work in London. This is for example, but the third person, she, he, or it, adds an S for the verb. She works in London. Use the present tense. We use the present tense to talk about something that is true in the present. For example, I'm 19 years old. He lives in London. I'm a student. And also, we use it for something that happens again and again, or what we call it repeated action in the present. I play football every weekend. We use words like sometimes, often, always, and never, adverbs of frequency, with the present tense. I sometimes go to the cinema. She never plays football. Okay? Something that is always true. The adult human body contains 206 pounds. Light travels at almost 300,000 kilometers per second. And also something that is fixed in the future. The school term starts next week. The train leaves at 19:45 this evening. Okay? By this, I think we present tense, and I don't want to make it too long. Thank you for watching and listening and practicing the time and tense in English. See you next video, inshallah. Thank you so much.